Hello, my Teaser King family. What's going on? I hope everybody listened to me. Everybody won on the ball. It was about the game I expected. I hit the score, missed by the extra point miss. So I had 24-20, and the score is 23-20. Should have been 24-20 because they missed the extra point, but okay. Cincinnati in 10 and a half, easy win. They had the lead most of the game and was just getting the over, which we got at the end. I was rooting for Cincinnati to win. I was hoping Cincinnati to get a pick six. Stafford did come and give us 2 interceptions. I noticed Cincinnati has a hard time when they get down to score touchdowns. They tend to get down and then they too many passes and they don't really run the way they should. I don't know. And they convert too many field goals. One thing I don't understand is, so at the Ram 21, and here's what I talk about: risk and reward. Kick the field goal, right? Just kick the field goal, get up, I think 7 points. I think it was 13-10 or something like that. 13-10. It might have even been 17. They kicked a field goal on it, but I don't remember. Anyway, so they end up kicking a field goal. But this is 4th and 1 at the 21 of the Rams. Kick your field goal. So instead they don't. But they do get the first down. But what was your reward? So you had the ball at the 20. You got to the 12. Then he gets sacked for a 10-yard loss, and it's back at he's kicking a field goal. And you're like, the risk of not getting the first down on the 4th down at the 21, your reward was you kicked the same field goal. Now, yeah, you had a few more plays, but I would have rather have not took the risk and got it. I think they lost because they went for it at the 50 in the beginning instead of punting the ball deep. And then the Rams had a short field and scored a touchdown. I would have rather them punted the ball from the 50. This is a Super Bowl. You don't screw around with this bullshit. Let's go for it on 4th down. Like, oh, we'll get it every time against Aaron Donald. I mean, it's just incredibly bad coaching. And that's why they lost. I mean, they should have won. They had the lead. They couldn't add to it. They didn't run the ball. When the Rams made the change where Von Miller was coming inside, why didn't they just dunk the ball where Von Miller was? Just a quick little screen pass, or not even that, just to hit the slot or even run at it. So there wasn't very good play calling by the Cincinnati. And then at the end, I didn't understand. You had the good pass. You're close. It's 2nd or 3rd and 1. You run up the middle. Why would you run at Aaron Donald and then you go pass and he's there on 4th and 1? Should have been you should have passed on on 3rd down. I can see trying to get the first down, but I think you got to pass there. Otherwise, I think Cincinnati was the better team. Should have won. Beckham's injury hurt the over, but okay, we got enough. Stafford. He throws his 2 interceptions. If he's close in the game, he tends to win it at home, not on the road. He got some happy feet. They sacked him a lot. Cincinnati's defense was incredible. Rams couldn't run for nothing. So I like that. But at the end, why was Eli Apple guarding Kupp? Eli Apple's not very good. I know he's from Ohio State, but that's why he's been on 5 teams. He's not very good, and you don't want him on Cooper Kupp in the end zone. What, are you kidding me? Again, a bad coaching move. Why was he there? So just a lot of silly mistakes by Cincinnati. I'm not sure the penalties on Kupp. That was a job. You don't call a penalty all game. And now with 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter, you want to make sure the Rams win, so you start throwing penalties. I thought that was ridiculous. I mean, that's when you know the refs bet on the Rams. However, the Rams didn't cover. and it got over. So I don't know what. Well, it got over in the teaser. I don't know that it stayed under. So I don't know what the rest were doing, but I was surprised Joe Burrow didn't get him down to kick a field goal and go to overtime. I was really surprised by that. But Garoppolo can't even get a first down on him. Burrow at least drove down a little bit. That's the difference. Burrow, very strong, good player. Needs more time. They'll patch up the offensive line. That'll be the last little piece. They weren't supposed to go to the Super Bowl this year. But watch them get another receiver from if they get the guy from LSU this year. The guy from LSU this year is better than all of them. He's better than Chase and Jefferson. He got hurt. Bote's incredible. He got hurt. He might be around for them to get in the first round. That guy would be unbelievable. And then they need some offensive linemen from Ohio State, from Michigan, from Alabama. Well, not Alabama, from Georgia, from whatever. Get some defensive help from Georgia, and Cincinnati's your next powerhouse. So it's funny how here's KC, a couple years, then boom, Cincinnati dethrones them. Here's Tampa, Brady retires, probably going to the 49ers, and all of a sudden here comes Cincinnati. Rams are a one-hit wonder. They won't be back. Stafford got his ring, which is so stupid. He still sucks as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what Cincinnati's doing with the Cup, but anyway, I think the better team didn't win. I think Cincy was the better team, and they just didn't win yesterday. But for us, it was perfect. We had that. Hey, Nick. Wouldn't be surprised if stars flocked to Cincy to play with Burrow the Bill. Well, it's sort of like what they did with Tampa. Don't be surprised if you see Donica Sue and a few of the Tampa Bay players, Larry David and a couple of the guys in the secondary pull up in Cincinnati. But like I say, if they get Bote, forget about it, man. They won't even lose. You put Bote and Chase on the same team, good luck. Good night. They need a running back and they need some offensive linemen. But you can get, for what they need, you can get offense. You don't need a first-round offensive lineman for what they need. You just need an offensive lineman from Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin. Second, third, fourth, fifth rounds be more than enough. You don't need the Rams, I'm sure, didn't have first-round draft picks on their offensive line. And it didn't really matter. You had Kupp and Stafford leading the way, and then Beckham gets hurt. So I was glad Beckham got hurt. It was like, yeah, that guy's a showboat anyway. But anyway, that's what you have. And but we'll look forward to the draft. Again, I see Cincy, a couple of linemen that they can pick up in the later rounds. You get Bote, get the Stingley, the best cornerback in the country, also at LSU. I mean, there's going to be an LSU party with Burrow, Chase, and a couple more of these superstars that LSU seems to get. If they can get Bote and Stingley or one of them, look out. They'll be incredible. But again, all they did was Burrow and Chase, and in this league, that was enough. This question about buying. Okay, let's go to buying Joe Burrow rookie cards. I would wait a while. I would go after Mahomes cards right now because he's low. He'll be back, but Burrow, all right, he's just in the spotlight. Let it go a month. Everybody's doing the same thing that Nick wants. Oh, let's go jump on his rookie card. Well, let it go and let something new. What are we in? We're in February. So let it come where we start having, basketball and stuff like that. And then they'll switch to LeBron James. And then you go for the Burrow stuff. There's probably more little 50 and 25 count Burrows this year, not his rookie year, but Nick showed me the one card, the autograph card, but that's a little expensive. I would, Nick, I would offer him like 900 and see how much he needs the money. Starting to look at Kyle Trask cards today. Get him really cheap. Don't spend any money on him. Let him start. Let him, let's see what Tampa Bay does. You just be careful. I wouldn't spend too much on him. Again, he hasn't played. It's like going after Justin Herbert. He hasn't won anything. He hasn't even the playoffs. He's a good quarterback, but so what? So was Dan Fouts, and his cards probably aren't worth too much. Bradshaw, who sucked, his cards are worth a lot because he was on the Steelers. So it depends on the team. Like, you want to get some good cards, get some 70 Steeler cards. Lynn Swann, Stallworth, Franco Harris, Joe Green, Lambert, Ham. Get those cards. You can get them pretty cheap considering, but it's the team, right? So Herbert is good on San Diego, but they're not doing anything. Yeah, well, if you can get Kyle Trask cheap, get a few of them, get some numbered ones, get them PSA 10, or just go to for him, I would go to a trade show if you have access to it, and just look at them and go, corners are centered, it's sharp, it's nice. This should be a 10. They're $5 a card. Just, buy 20 of them. That's what I did. That's how I got all of my cards. Was looking at Mahomes cards today, still kind of expensive. Well, that's good. I mean, that shows you this is his bottom right now. Mahomes. Maybe you wait a month. See, the reason I'm asking you to wait is because right now everybody's into football. You just had the Super Bowl. You wait a month or two, and the NBA or the college basketball tournaments on, and the NBA playoffs are on, and then nobody's thinking Mahomes. They're thinking LeBron or Durant. And I would never buy those cards. I would keep to these. But, Herbert you can buy cheap, but is he going to have a value? Burrow will be back to the Super Bowl. So will Mahomes. But it's going to be Mahomes and Burrow kind of competing for it. Maybe Herbert gets in. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's staying in Green Bay, but he can't win. He doesn't know how to win. It's amazing. Burrow marches the team right down and scores, and they score. Rodgers, how the hell does he only score 10 points on the Niners, and he had 7 on the first drive? They go up 7-0, and then that's it. Rodgers is done. That's either Rodgers not calling audibles, because I can't imagine that the offensive coordinator has a say with Rodgers or the coach. I can't believe there's no, okay, you got to run this play, and Rodgers, okay, I guess I got to run that play. So this is the problem. As good as Rodgers is, he only won 1 Super Bowl, so he doesn't get the value. Nobody's like, again, it's action, reaction. There's no action to drive you to Rodgers cards, right? What do you remember? He lost to the Niners. He lost to the Niners 3 out of the last 4 or 5 years. So he loses to the Niners. There's no reason to go get his cards. He can't win, but that's what you remember about him, so why would I want him? Mahomes at least is good. And he's got the right with Hill and Kelsey and Chocolate Eclair. He's got enough talent that they should be back. Unfortunately, he's got Andy Reid as his coach, which is the kiss of death. That guy's just horrible in big games. So you want a quarterback with a good defense. So who's the best? Now, Cincinnati, their defense looked really good, except for Eli Apple. They were shutting the run down. So you give them a couple of cornerbacks from Tampa or some of these other places. They get the Stingley from LSU, and look out for Cincinnati. Rodgers can also be Hall of Fame. Wouldn't that drive value down the road? To a point, look at Marino. So I'll tell you to look at Marino's cards, and you tell me the value of Marino. And then I'll tell you to look at Elway and look at Brett Favre and even Bradshaw and compare them, and Montana. And you're going to see that Dan Fouts doesn't have that strong of a value because he never won the Super Bowl. So that's what you got with Rodgers. It's like a Dan Fouts or a Dan Marino, where Marino, what did he do? Never won the Super Bowl. So his cards never took off. Why did Brady's? Brady's isn't that great, but because Brady wins a lot, he's the GOAT. Everybody wants his card. So you got to do something to get the card. So Rodgers, I don't really. I got a couple of rookies that are just tops and nothing. I didn't really go collect Rodgers because he didn't win. I got Brady's and I got Drew Brees. I got some nice Drew Brees chrome refractor card that's just beautiful. Should be a 10. That's worth a nice chunk of change too. Um, so even Peyton Manning. I mean, look at his. So compare Rodgers to Peyton Manning, I guess, and see where Peyton Manning's cards are. See where Marino's cards are. That will tell you what you're going to get with Rodgers because yeah, there's a few Manning cards that are worth something. Like I have that Topps Chrome card, the real pretty one with Randy Moss and Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson's in it. It's the gold one, and the card's okay, but it's not worth that. The refractor's worth something. So I tend to tell you to get refractor cards because they tend to get a better value, and they're perceived more limited, even though they're not numbered. Occasionally they'll be numbered, but generally they're not. And so you have just people. They're cool looking, the refractors. So you want to, if you can, in a normal Bowman Chrome or Topps Chrome set, or I don't even know if they're out anymore. I haven't even looked at cards in a few years. If they still make, I see this Panani Dunrose. So I'm assuming Topps and Bowman are still out there, but get the refractors if you can. I noticed with the Burrow, there's like a purple and an orange, but they're not. I don't know if they're refractors or not. I just see them on eBay, but they're not numbered, so it makes it difficult to see. I like your card, Nick, the one you showed me today, but it's very expensive. Had he won the Super Bowl, maybe, but he didn't win the Super Bowl, and until he does, that's a lot of money. Yeah, everybody likes Joe Burrow, but he almost crushed his knee again, and that would have been the end of him. So just be careful on that. You don't want to spend a lot on the card. You want to go to the card show, I want Trask cards, I want Mahomes, I want Burrow, but not even now. You don't probably, you just want Mahomes regular cards, but you can look at them and go, yeah, these are PSA 10s. These are nice sharp corners, nice centering. Everything looks good. Take it up to a light, and there's lights at the card show. They have lamps, and just you see any scratches, and if you do, you bail. But if you don't, it looks good, and you can get a nice Mahomes or even Burrow or something. You'll be surprised how stupid the dealers are. They'll look at Beckett. At least that's what they used to do. And Beckett would have it for $25. They'd charge you. I could get it for $15. I'd say, and here's what you do: say, what's your best price? That shows you want to buy, and the guy's there because he needs money. So if you say, what's your best price? He's going to work with you, and then you go back to him the next time and the next time. So he knows once he knows you're a buyer, then you're going to have it. Going to offer 800 and see if he wants to work a deal. Yeah, if you can afford it, 800. It's a PSA 10, I believe. So, yeah, I think that's a good price. Again, you're going in a little bit too soon, right after the Super Bowl. I wouldn't go much over 8, or I'd go 750 and then keep an eye on it. But the dealer sees he was in the Super Bowl, so he's less apt to sell it. Now, if he had the Mahomes card, you could probably get that cheaper because he wasn't even, nobody cares. It's Mahomes, not the Super Bowl. But please don't buy any Lamar Jackson cards or Jalen Hurts or Tagliabue, any of those losers. Trevor Lawrence, I would not get it. Well, make him an offer, Nick. Make him a $750 offer. But I'm just saying, you're bumping into, he was just in the Super Bowl, and the guy selling it is less apt to sell it because he was in the Super Bowl. That's why you go after this guy with Mahomes cards. You can't really say he was in the Super Bowl. And you can just, I really like Mahomes. But, yeah, I mean, see what it's like. Now I was watching a thing on TV, one of these investment shows on YouTube, and they were talking about eBay, how it's the free market. And that's what I kind of stress. There's really no government regulations. It's, do you want this Pearl card? It's $1,500. That's what he wants to sell it for. The market comes in Nick, and Nick says, you know what? I want to give you, I think it's worth 700. And then they're going to fight it out. And Nick's going to want, maybe he goes to 8, and the guy comes down, maybe he goes to 1,000. And that's where you get the price. Then it goes sold, and it's everybody can see you sold it for 800. And then now we have a value for that card. I would sell it like that, Nick. If you sell your cards, or anybody here, just any of my class, go in, and what you're going to do is you want to do it and sell it the way this guy's doing it. You put up a big price, because if it's an auction and it's bid up, okay, you put the reserve out there probably at 500, and so the auction goes and goes and goes. But if you don't get a lot of action, you might only get 500-600. If you put up this 1,500 and you say best price or whatever, however they call it, I know it's not buy it now. Buy it now means that's the price, buy it or not. Then there's this one, which is make me an offer, where you put up the 1,500 and say, make me an offer. And then Nick can say 750, 800. And then the dealer can go, well, how badly do I need 750, 800? That's the point. Now, if I'm selling that Brady rookie refractor card, I don't know what it's worth. So I'm going to put it out there at 200 grand. Now, I would happily take 100 grand for it, but I'm going to put 200 out there, and then let's see. But I get it in the guy's head. It's a $200,000 card. It's very strong. It's Brady. It's a refractor, and go from there. But you already got the number, and everybody, like Nick's looking at it already at 1,500 for this Burrow card. He's already sees it at 15. Versus an auction, it could be at 300, and you don't know what the value is. So if you're going to sell it, do it on one of these make me an offers where you put a pretty high, like, believe me, 1,500, he'll take 1,000 for sure. Nick might be able to get it for 750. You can't stay in auction so price. Well, okay, let's talk about bidding an auction. I'm a master at it. So what you do is you see something you want, you make a small bid. You don't even care if you take the lead. You don't want the lead. You just want to be in there and see the activity. And what happens is the last 2 minutes, it gets hot and heavy. And you make your last bid with about 10 seconds left, and you hope it's enough. Because if you get it with 10 seconds left, the guy doesn't have a chance to come back. So if it's something that's, it's at $100 and you make that 150 bid with 10 seconds left, and maybe the guy has a bid in there at 110 or 120, you get it for 121, let's say. But there's no coming back because it's at the end. So when you're bidding in an auction, you make it, you do the last bid. And that's what's different about a regular auction. It just, I up at the paddle and there's no time limit. Here, the clock's running and it's 30, 20, make your bid, and then the time runs out. So that's how you play a auction. It is that's why you just do what you're doing with these make me an offers. You can make him 750 and he can come back. Maybe he comes, I don't know how it works if he's going to come back and say, sorry, Nick, how about 1,000? And then you come back at 850. Or he just says yes or no. I don't know if he can then renegotiate with you, or he's got to say yes or no. I don't. I would assume he can renegotiate. I've had guys come to me because either the guy reneged or the buyer, or it didn't get enough. He wanted a 500 and it only got 300. And then since I was in the auction, and say, are you willing to buy it? Or I have another one. Do you want to buy it? So that's why sometimes you get in these auctions just to get in there and see what you can do. But eBay is very good for the cards. I have a painting, Statue of Liberty, but I don't think I can I don't see it going for the price it should go for eBay. I need to do it at an auction, but the auctions I was trying to do it, they wouldn't give me a good enough reserve price. So I've held it so far, but I'd rather sell it and buy gold than hold it. It's probably worth about 10 grand, but I don't think I can get 10 grand for it. It's a Peter Max Statue of Liberty. he makes too many Liberty heads, so it wears out. But Statue of Liberty is the most popular thing, so you'd think you'd get extra buyers. Anyway, so do we buy Joe Burrow cards is the question, and I'd say just wait a month, let the basketball turn, let it get out of people's heads. The worst thing you can do is try to buy now while everybody's just watched the Super Bowl and they go, Joe Burrow is pretty good. I doubt people are going to buy Stafford cards because he played for the Lions, but that's what you're looking at is we know Joe Burrow's good, but right now you go after Mahomes cards. That's what you do. You buy low and sell high. Well, you're going to buy low, you buy Mahomes. Again, go to a show. Now, I had a long show on Friday. There was one guy talking to me about these old cards and Marilyn Monroe and some wrestling, names, I would never think to buy on a sports card. Some soccer. And then he's told me there's a show in Atlanta, I think this weekend. So he's saying, go to the show. So it's on my Friday night video. We have a lengthy talk near the end. So the last half hour, 45 minutes, if you want to fast forward to that section of the thing. I know it's a long thing, but it's class. So I don't, I'm not, if you're interacting with me, I'm not going to end the video because we're interacting. So that's why sometimes they go long, but that's what we did. So if you're near Atlanta, there's a big Atlanta show apparently this weekend. I don't know if I'll go, but it's something that I probably should. If it was closer, Atlanta's about a 4-hour drive. So if it was closer, I would probably drive to it. If it was like 2 hours away. I used to go in Michigan, Gibraltar, and they were about 45 minutes to an hour away. And I'd go there, and we'd go on the weekends. And my ex would look at she was the eyes, so she made sure they're mint condition. Yep, it's centered, it's corner and everything. And if she gave me the okay, I was the negotiator in the money, and I'd go, what's your best price? And we'd get cards. But I knew what cards to get. So I'm getting Mickey Mantles and I'm getting Willie Mays' and Montana's and Rice's and all those guys. So I know what to get, and that's what you get here. So, yeah, will Burrow turn into Montana? I think so. I think it was just unfortunate that, the Rams had Aaron Donald and then Von Miller was playing good. Had it just been a normal, the Niners or Tampa, I think Cincinnati could have played. Like Kansas City, they beat. They didn't really have that strong of a defense. So card collecting, again, you want to buy things at the right time. So I don't want to buy Burrow right now. I want to buy him in 6 months. I want to buy Mahomes now. Maybe older cards, maybe some old Steelers or Montanas and Rice's and Walter Paytons. I'm seeing I got 2 perfect Walter Paytons, 1982 tops. I saw him at a show once, and I was going through the 82s because it was Lawrence Taylor's rookie card, and there was a couple other nice Ronnie Lott's in there. And I looked, and there was a nice Bradshaw. I bought it for $2. I got 2 Walter Payton perfect 10s. Got to be 10. They're not graded. Everything's sharp, corner, centering, should be a 10. And I'm starting to see his 10s go for about $1,000. And I'm like, okay, I think I got him for $2 because in Beckett, their list, there was just Walter Payton. They're not grading the cards in Beckett. See, Beckett, you can really get a steal in because they're marking the cards really in PSA 8 condition. So it's like near mint, and not graded. So it's just a regular card. You can get it for $30, $40, but you see a PSA 10 and it's worth 10 grand. So if you're smart and you know how to read it and you can see the corners and the centering and the card looks good, then that's what you buy. And it's $40, $50 in Beckett. You give the guy 30 and you bring the hard plastics and you slap it in the hard plastic and you go, thank you very much. And that's a lot of what I did was I knew the players to get, Bobby Orr and all those. Is it the 7? No, these are the 82 high off. Rams should have lost the game. If Bengals won the game, it would have been good for the market. Well, it's still good for the market that Burrow played well and everything. I do have the 75 Peyton rookie card. It's in beautiful shape, but I'm talking about the 82. And what I'm trying to say here is if you like the set and you go to the show, just read it yourself, going, good corners, good centering, good card. It's somebody that's good. Maybe it's a Rice or a Montana or Walter Payton or, an Elway or maybe Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders. Then that's what you get, and that's what but you get it cheap. You get it ungraded. You don't need to go to the show and get it graded. Maybe a Bobby Orr, maybe a Michael Jordan, but you're going to pay a lot more for it. But if you got the good eyes and you can see it's a 9 or a 10, fuck it, don't buy it really cheap, and then you see if it comes back a 10. My Rice rookie, I paid $40 for it. And I went through a lot to get a nicely centered one, good corners, sharp card. At worst a 9, probably a 10. And for $40, it could be worth 100,000. So that's what you want to do. That's how you invest. That's how you collect. But you get the players you want. I wanted Jerry Rice. I wanted Montana. I wanted Peyton, Barry Sanders, Emmett. Nick, eBay says my offer is more likely to be responded to if my offer is around along. Well, of course, but fuck them. I mean, you want to get the card cheap. So Nick, you go and did you offer 750 or 800? And he said no, and they're trying to say put it out for 11. Or I mean, did eBay give you the no, or did the guy say no, and then this is the response from eBay? So Nick's looking at a $1,500 25 count Burrow rookie autograph. Now, we all know, I think it's a PSA 10. I don't remember. That's if he wins like he's going to, it's a $50,000, $75,000 card. If he doesn't win or he hurts his knee, it's not going to be worth anything. Yes, offered 750, says 2 more offers to review by seller. Well, they're probably going to be better than 750. Like I say, it's too early to start going after Burrow cards. People are watching the Super Bowl. Go find them a Mahomes card like that and do the same thing, and you'll watch that. You'll be the only guy looking at a Mahomes card. There's only so many. Go look at a Montana card right now. You'll be the only guy looking at it, and you'll clean up with it. I mean, that's what I did. So I love the 82 tops with the pennant on the bottom, and I love the locos. So that's what I went, and I just saw these, gem mint Montanas, and I don't know if Rice was in it. It's funny, Rice wasn't in all the sets. Maybe. I know Peyton was. I know, and it was it's Lawrence Taylor's rookie card, and I got a couple of those for $10. The Lawrence Taylor 10s are going for $17,000 right now, and I think that's cheap. It's the 82 tops. The only reason is 82 tops is very it's highly produced, so it's not a 25 or a 50 count like Nick's going after. Nick's going after a 25 count. So, yeah, it makes sense, Nick, but he didn't win the Super Bowl. Then I would say, 1,100, he won the Super Bowl. That card's going to be worth $50,000 until he wins it. That's why the Brady card's worth $1 million. It's just the same. It's a 100 count autograph rookie, but he won a few Super Bowls, and that's really the difference between what you're trying to do in the other. So you have to be prudent, but it's supply and demand. This is economics. This is how economics blends into gold, the stock market, sports card, Bitcoin, everything. It's always about action reaction. It's always about supply and demand. Nick is demanding the card. The seller's got the supply of the card. So he's got the card. He's saying, this is what I want for it, because he was just in the Super Bowl. And Nick's got to be careful and say, okay, this is what I'm going to give you. And this is how the market works. It's all trading. I've got something that you want. That's the beauty of the market. So I always use my example. If I want a blue shirt, I'm the manufacturer. I'm going to make blue shirts because Howard wants a blue. Howard's going to buy it. So I want to make something that people want to buy. So in this case, I got a Joe Burrow rookie card. People want. There's demand because he went to the Super Bowl. So that's beautiful economics. That's really what economics is. Nick, big Jerry Rice fan, seen his PSA signed rookie for $800. No, there's no refractor in the Jerry Rice rookie card. There is refractors you can get in the Bowman Chrome in the mid to late 90s. There's red label, if you know Topps red label. I got the Eiserman 1 of 1. There's a Rice, there's a Berry, there's I think Montana's still in it. I would lead you to that with the Rice, but see, look what the guy did. He gets a signed rookie card for $800. If it's not signed and it's a PSA 10 card, it's worth $100,000. The guy fucked himself by getting it signed. As soon as there's an autograph on the card's ruined, because now the card's not clean. Now the card has writing on it. And even though it's his autograph, you can see what it does to the value. A PSA 10 Rice, and this might be why he got it autographed, it's probably not a 10 or a 9, so he gets it autographed. Never, ever, ever get a strong rookie card. You get the Michael Jordan 86 Flair. You got that card, and you have him sign it. You're the dumbest guy in the world. That's $1 million card that you just ruined because you got him to sign it. Have him sign a 90 hoops card, and that'll make that value go to 1,000. You never, ever, ever get a good card autographed. Get the shit card autographed, because the good card has the Rice rookie's $100,000. You don't get that signed. That ruins the card. Now it becomes, what's the autograph worth? It's worth $800. So whoever did that's an idiot. Please don't ever do that. Do it with a regular Topps or Pro Set or Hoops. Jerry Rice, if you got his, get his 89 Topps card. It's worth, $50. Get him to autograph that, fine. But never, ever get a rookie card autograph that's worth a ton. It lowers the value because it basically ruins the card, right? The card now has writing on it, is not mint. It's not perfect. It's damaged, even though it's his autograph. So never, ever autograph a big, expensive card. Get it on one of his little ones. I went to a Tiger game. I took my daughters. They were playing the White Sox. And who's on the White Sox at the time? Frank Thomas. So I take 2 score dollar Frank Thomas cards. And he comes to the dugout, and I'm about 10 rows up, and I run down. And he's signing things, and I hand him, and he signs it, and I hand him the other card, and he signs it, and I thanked him for it. But of course, he's going to sign Frank Thomas cards, so he signs them. But they were shit cards. They were score. They were worth $2. All right, maybe if they're PSA 10, maybe they're worth $10. Believe me, the autograph is worth a lot more on that card than if I took his Leaf rookie card PSA 10. That would have been a mistake. But to take the score, heavily produced card that's worth $5, even now it's probably a PSA 10 worth $10. So I got those autographs. Another word is, don't get the secondary players PSA 10. Don't waste your time. I don't know what it costs to get the cards graded by PSA, but don't get Joe Blow PSA 10. I see that in some auctions. The way I search, I'll go 1981 PSA 10, and I'll see, you got Montana, but you got, Bradshaw, and you got Lynn Swan, and you got, whoever else. And basically, you go and see it, but don't get. Then I start seeing these Joe Blow cards, and Sam, O'Leary. I'm like, why the fuck would anybody get these cards graded? Even if they're 10, they're at the worst, at the best, worth $20. Who wants it? There's no demand for the card. That's my point. There must be a action to follow the reaction. So if I got Joe Smith, there's no reason to buy Joe. There's no demand except for his family wants it or he wants it. So there's nothing in it that's going to drive the price up. So you need that action. So we got Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. He lost, but he got there. Next year or in the next couple of years, it's going to be him. It's going to be Mahomes. And that's why you're buying Mahomes card now. So when he gets his second Super Bowl, now you're golden. Because Brady, I don't know. I think he plays for the Niners next year, and then he's done. So once Brady's out, Rodgers can't seem to win it. And Stafford, I don't know how he won. But I think and look for them to have a bad year next year because they won, and now it's usually the loser. Cincinnati has a bad year because they lost, and it's the letdown. But I think I don't think that's going to happen with Burrow. As long as he's healthy and Chase, as long as everybody stays healthy, what happens is you get the injury. And I'm not going to jinx anybody, but you get the injury, and then okay, that's why they lose. So everybody healthy on Cincinnati, look for them to come back. And now it's going to be Cincinnati, KC. Baltimore is gone with Lamar Jackson. It's like, who do you want, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson? And Pittsburgh's gone, especially if they get that guy from Liberty. You got to be kidding me. And Cleveland, I don't know what they're doing. All of a sudden, they're falling apart again. So Cincinnati, they'll be them in Kansas City right there. San Diego's close. Oakland, I don't know what they do. They're terribly run. And then Denver's starting to come back. They need a quarterback. So it's just, and it's weird because there's the Fresno State quarterback and then the Nevada quarterback and my guy McCall and all these quarterbacks out there, and they don't draft those guys. And I know you guys give me shit for Jake Fromm, and you gave me shit for Kellen Moore, but I'll tell you, Kellen Moore is a good quarterback. But Jake Fromm, get him off the Giants, put him on Dallas, and then you'll see what he can do. But that's what you have. But that's what you're looking for. So when you are investing, you like the idea. Which idea, Af? I have so many ideas. But, that's what you want. That's what you want to do. So you're trying to buy ungraded cards that are in great condition at a good price. Get them graded 10s, and then they're worth a ton. So that's what you're doing. But kind of lost my thought there. So anyway, but this is now it's turned into an economics class. It's supply and demand. So an action causes a reaction. You win the Super Bowl, and everybody wants your card. Now, I don't think anybody wants Stafford's card. Yeah, probably get some action but he was on the Lions as a loser for so many years. Finally gets to win. I'm not going to run out and buy. I don't think I have any Stafford cards unless it was just bought as part of a set. But he wasn't even in a lot of the sets because he wasn't that good of a player. So I wouldn't waste your time on Stafford. Cooper Kupp, maybe he's a good guy to get, but I don't. I'd take Burrow and Mahomes before I got Cooper Kupp. Donald, I'm not running. Reggie White's card doesn't do much. You don't get linemen. Linemen's cards don't do anything. Lawrence Taylor, he's the exception. Maybe Ray Lewis had a value, but if defense, you stay away. It's either running back, receiver, or quarterback. And really, there's not a running back I would invest in now. I can't think of one. So it's the receivers and the quarterbacks that you want to be buying. Nick, going to buy 10-ounce bar, I assume silver, from yesterday's winnings. I'm glad you're smart and you're buying and you're investing in that. Yeah, it was a great. It was funny. I never worried about Cincinnati, and I didn't. I was counting, and I said when they kick the field goal and they go up 7, I think I go, well, that's a lot because even if the Rams scored 2 touchdowns, it was something where they'd only be up 10 and we had 10.5. So I said, we're fine, Cincinnati. Now we just need some points. But that was the basis of the bet, as I knew either Stafford or Burrow would score, especially late in the fourth. They would get us a touchdown that we needed, and it happened to fall at the right number to get us to 43. So I really wasn't worried. I knew, we get a touchdown, we win. I knew they'd get a touchdown, and they basically, gave it to Stafford. They just kept calling interference penalties until they finally scored a touchdown. But see, that's when you got 2 good quarterbacks. That's when you bet the over. If Cincinnati didn't have Burrow, if he got hurt, that would have been a different story. But he stayed healthy, and the same thing with Stafford. They both hurt their knees, but not too bad. We'll see how it is today, but it's not. If they're able to walk off the field, it's not a ligament or anything. Then they're carried off the field. So sometimes they sprain their knee, getting it trapped under a player or something. But let's see. So what else is going on? So notice gold's really spiking. It's at 1860, 1870. Now, I would say gold would go through the roof now. You've got this Russian-Ukraine war. You've got, I don't know. It's not a war yet. My friend in the Ukraine, she says, it's nothing. We're not worried about it. Because I don't think Putin's trying to kill the Ukrainians. He just wants to get the old Soviet Union back. So he's not really going to, he might bomb some, but he's not really trying to kill all the people. So my friend's sitting there going, it's fine. It's really nothing. It's propaganda. But I don't think I can go there, or I'm not going to go, either place right now. I'll have to wait. So between COVID and that, it's been so hard to travel to Europe. It's been insane. And then they closed the freaking cities is even more insane. Nick, looking for Cincy to start next season slow after losing yesterday. It depends what happens with injuries in the draft. You still got Joe Burrow. Look at Joe Montana. Now, he didn't win every year. They won in 81, and then Washington won in 82 with Joe Theismann. And then in 83, the Niners got screwed. They're playing Washington. In Washington, the game's close for the championship to go to the Super Bowl, and there's a terrible pass interference call on Ronnie Lott. But they were there, and then it led it. So what you want to look for is, I think the team to watch next year is Kansas City, because they lost in the championship game to Cincinnati after blowing the lead. Look for them to be pissed off. They'll be more focused next year. So what I tell you is this year they're probably going to be flat because they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago and won it. And last year going for 2 in a row and they lose to Tom Brady. They're going to be flat because it just takes a lot out of you. You play more games than everybody else, and that's what happened. But then the loser, like that loser, they come on pretty strong. Cincinnati's a new kid on the block. They'll be a good team. We'll see who they draft and if they stay healthy. They're certainly a playoff team now. Now they know, shit, we beat Kansas City twice. We beat Tennessee. We beat Oakland. Well, who are they going to be scared of? They played the Rams down to the wire. If they get that first down, they're going to kick a field goal and go to overtime because that kicker never misses. So, yeah, I think I just think the whole league, because they don't do training camp, the first 2 or 3 weeks are cold. Nick, also Vegas next season to watch Raiders play. What's the best sports book to visit? I'm hearing Circa is very good. We'll probably stay at the Venetian. Well, where I normally bet is at the William Hill sports book. There's one right across from Caesars, and I can't remember the name of it. It's just a local hotel. but they have a William Hill, and those odds are the best. And it's near the Venetian, Nick. So if you just walk to the end of the street, I can't think of it. It used to be the old, not the Gold Coast, but the Barbary Coast. So it's right on the corner there. If you walk from the Venetian towards Caesars, but stay on that side, and then I think there's a William Hill there. If not, there's a William Hill, the next one. And that's where you want to bet, is that William Hill. Now, what I used to do is watch in Caesars, because it was like a movie. They turn the lights down. There's all these big screens, and you're loving it. So that's kind of where you should watch the games. And you can play poker. I don't know if you play poker, but I play poker. So I tend to watch the games because it's hard to me to play poker and watch the games. So I will watch the games, and then I'll play poker. And then you can usually eat, but the food court's kind of expensive. When I'm at Caesars, I go to the Mirage. They got a nice New York deli there. You can get corned beef. You can get a hamburger. You can get nice big fries, matzo ball soup, salads, and they're reasonable priced, and they're huge. Yeah, you get that corned beef sandwich like that. And it's like $13. The Venetian, there's one restaurant in the Venetian that's very good. It's a what's the name? It's a Cheesecake Factory. It's not the Cheesecake Factory. It's run by the Cheesecake Factory. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it's right in the middle, and it's a reasonably priced restaurant right in the middle. It's not one of these expensive Venetian ones. The Wynns are terrible. I can't even find. I took my friend to the Wynn, and we didn't know where to eat. I mean, everything. I remember it was like 2 pieces of fried chicken for $29. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So you'd go to CVS and you get the stuff, where you went to the Mirage or things like that. But yeah, the food's for some reason very expensive in Vegas. Even the food court at Caesars. I remember in the old days, I used to watch football at the buffet. In the like early 80s, I'd get the buffet and these big Chinese ribs, and the games are on, and you're eating the buffet and you're watching the games. That was heaven. Now they kind of, where the buffet is, you can't watch the game. Well, maybe they got TVs. I haven't been in the buffet in a few years at Caesars. They started making them $50, $60. I'm like, I can't eat that many steaks and ribs. It's ridiculous. But what you tend to do is go to CVS and you pick up yogurt, you pick up fruit, you get pop, you can get sandwiches. I mean, it's a nice little snack. And then so what you tend to do is have that, and then you have a nice dinner somewhere. But that's probably the best. So you'll like watching it to see. Stay away from MGM. Their odds are terrible. So you want to go to Caesars, and you want to stay at the Venetian. I like the poker room at the Venetian, and I like that. Now the difference is Caesars poker room is more for the tourist. The guy who's staying there is there to play and have fun. That's who you want if you're playing poker. The Venetian's a little bit more serious. Stay away from the Wynn. That's where the pros go, and the Bellagio. So it's definitely that. But when you get pros at your table, they tend to be tight. Even what you think, they're very tight. But once you spot a pro and he makes a big $50, $100 bet, get the fuck out unless you got a really strong hand. He ain't playing. He's got the hand, and that's how the pros play. They get their pot and they bet it, and then they're out. So be careful playing with the pros at the Venetian, at the Wynn. But certainly at Caesars, you're okay. Bellagio, I can win at the Bellagio. Depends who's there. But I've never seen the big, Doyle Brunsons at the Bellagio. Really, I could play with any of those guys. The problem is the money. They got $1 million. I don't. So I can't, they can make a big bet. I can't afford to lose it. So that's why I got to play. But I love the $2 or $3 there, because I like seeing flops and I like outplaying people. So it gives me more opportunity than if I play 2-5 to start watching, then I got to put a lot of money in and I miss the flop and I got to get out. with a 1-2 or 1-3, it doesn't cost a lot to see the flop. And then when I hit it, I just outplay them. Again, watch action, reaction. So even if you're not in the hand, so Nick's playing, me and Nick are playing poker at Caesars, and Nick makes a $20 bet. Now I'm in the hand, but I'm going to watch what happens. What are these guys doing? Is it fold, 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 fold? Is it call, 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 call? Is it I'm going to raise you, but I'm bluffing? So yeah, that's what you're watching, the reaction of Nick's bet, even though you're not in the hand. And not only Nick, but other players. And the only thing I noticed different from playing in Detroit and playing in Vegas, if I get pocket aces in Detroit, I might make $25 bet, and I might get one player with me, maybe two. In Vegas, you pull that shit and you get the whole table calling you. So you've got to make the same thought process, got to be a $50 bet. Then you get down to one or two players. You don't want to play six players with pocket aces because it's just going to give them a chance to catch on you. So what you want to do is you get pocket aces, you bet 50 and be aggressive. And the biggest mistake most people make playing poker, they don't protect their hand. They're going to slow play pocket aces or pocket kings. You can't slow play them. They're not that good of a hand. Once the 5 cards are on the table, you need 2 pair most of the time. You can win with kings, but you're not going to win anything because you're not going to bet. I got kings. What if there's an ace hits the board? So you want to protect your hand. So think about it like that. I got a good hand. The flop comes, a couple of spades. I can't let the 3rd spade hit or the 4th spade hit. I'm screwed. So I got to make my bet on the flop to protect. Now, the real key, the best way to win at hold'em poker is to bet the turn, not the river. Because once you get to the river, that's when the bluffing hit. Because the guy knows I got to bluff to win. You hammer him on the turn. You make him pay for a straight. You make him pay for the flush. Most of the time, they're not going to call, and you win. And if they do call, maybe there's 2 diamonds out there, and he calls. Well, if it's not a diamond, you got him. So a lot of people will just call, but most of the time, you make a big bet. It's on the turn. Once the river's happened, the guy missed his straight. He's not calling you. He missed the flush. He's not calling you. Maybe he's got a pair of 9s. He calls you. You make your damage on the turn. You say you're going to pay for that river card, and you make so much more money doing that. That's the time to pull the trigger, not on the river. Because once the rivers happen, it's already over. He's either hit the straight and you're screwed, or he's hit the flush, or he's missed everything and he's going to fold. You're not going to get any money. The turn is where you make your money, and then you just hope he misses everything. And that's all you can do. But that's a little poker. We can get into poker too. Teaser Kings is bound with I do a lot, and I do it very well because I learn it. So that's sports cards we've talked about, but I can answer more. Economics. So what's going on? You got the war causes gold to go up. Usually gold is manipulated, as we know. It's starting to break, but watch, it'll drop. It's up now because of this Russian tension, but as soon as that eases, then it'll go back to 1780, and that's when you buy it. You don't really want to buy it at 1880 unless it's really ready to go and they're done manipulating it. So we don't know when they're done manipulating it. We just know they will be done manipulating it. That's why I tell Nick and anybody else, buy as much gold as you can. You're buying the ounces. You don't care what you pay for it because you know it's going to be worth 10 grand down the road. So that's what you're holding it for. And it won't even be worth 10 grand. It'll be worth a lot more because the US dollar is going to zero. So you're going to be holding an asset that has a huge value, the gold and then the silver, the gold more, and then the silver, because the dollar just won't. And they're just going to screw everybody. Just the way the mafia works. They don't care about you. They're just buying as much gold as they can. Any recommendations for betting outside of football? I usually do well in college hoops. all I could say is if you're going to bet basketball, you bet the star player. You bet the coach. You bet the star player. John Wooden, you bet Kareem, Bobby Knight, you bet Isaiah, Magic Johnson. You go for the best players. The problem is in college, these guys play 1 year and they're gone into the pros and you never hear from them again. So all I can say is you bet the best players or the best teams. What I liked, and I got to check this Baylor one. Baylor had lost a few in a row. They lost the game, they lost to Alabama, and they were at home against West Virginia, who sucks. And I think they buried them. And that's what you're looking for. Look for a good team off of a loss playing a weak team. That's the best. That's the same thing with football. You want to get that. You want to look at the game with no spread and think of the winner. And if you get a real good team, especially off of a loss, so you almost just say who lost and then who are they playing. And if it's a really bad team, they're going to be pissed because they lost, like a Kentucky or a Kansas or I don't know who's in the Big Ten anymore. If it's Purdue, or I think Purdue's pretty highly ranked. That's what you want. You want a team that you know is pissed off. That's why I say bet them after a loss, especially basketball. But basketball is so much the superstar. Kareem, and then, because it's funny, whatchamacallit, oh my God, the guy in Golden State, he was nothing in college. He wasn't like the number one draft pick. I mean, nobody knew him. The shooter, I can't think of the name. But anyway, just go after superstars. This is the key to betting sports. You bet the best talent. So you bet Mahomes, you bet Burrow, you bet Brady, you bet against Trevor Lawrence, you bet against Tagliabue, you bet against Lamar Jackson, because these guys aren't very good. So you want to bet on skill. So in basketball, know your college basketball, Nick. I would go through the statistics, who's the best scorers, who's the best team in the league, like we do with football, right? You know how we do football. We look at who's the best team, look at defense. So I would say who's the worst defensive team. And then when you got a good team, so if Kentucky's playing the worst defensive team in the SEC, or Purdue's playing the worst defensive team in the Big Ten, that's when you hammer them. After a loss especially, then you really hammer them. But that's probably the best way to play any sport. Bet against the weak defense with the strong offense, or bet the strong defense to stop the strong offense. The strong defense will always stop the strong offense in any sport, because you can't score, but the strong defense can still score, because the other team won't have that strong of a defense unless they're an A team. So I don't really – I get so exhausted with football. I don't really do basketball, and it's football. It's once a week for us. Basketball is so many every day. I'll tell you though, I can do the playoffs, because the playoffs have psychology. It's a 5-game series. Team A has lost the first 2 at home, must win. That's when I bet Team A to win game 3. So that's how you bet the playoffs, is the team that's do or die, backs against the wall. Again, here's my analogy, keeps popping back up. The team with the back against the wall always wins, as long as they have any type of talent. So in the NBA playoffs, in college, when they're trying to make the tournament, college football, Alabama back against the wall. It's funny, I was watching the Lee Corso. And I remember when Alabama was playing Georgia in the first game, and Lee had the Alabama hat on. Well, I saw in the championship game, he had the Georgia hat on. And that, if nothing else, tells me how fixed it is, because how could Georgia blow out Alabama in the championship game but not blow them out in the first one? Because their back wasn't against the wall. They didn't need it. They were in the playoff, and this way Alabama slid in. So wink, wink, we'll let you slide in. And Georgia looked like they were playing like that. So anyway, just remember that. Backs against the wall, NBA playoffs, Baseball is tough because of the pitch count. Oh, your arm's tired. I used to pitch. I could pitch. I used to hate it. I was in Little League, and I could pitch fine. And my coach had to pull me after like 30 pitches. Okay, that's the rule. I'm like, I can go another 5 innings. What do you mean 30 pitches? I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. But that's what happened. So the problem with baseball is the pitch count. So you gotta, because you're betting on, I believe that guy would throw 200 pitches in a game without a sweat, and his arm was fine, his shoulder was fine. Only Koufax had the arm problem, but he still went. But anyway, it's just that's the way it is. So baseball is a little bit tougher. Hockey, like I said, I bet that Edmonton game against Vancouver when Gretzky lost on the East Coast 4 or 5 games in a row. Then they were on like vacation. I remember they went to the desert and golf for a week. They came back and they murdered Vancouver. I mean, it wasn't even close. But so find the team with the stars. When they need the game, they're going to win it. So it doesn't matter the sport. Baseball, usually basketball, football is the easiest, then hockey, tails up, hockey, I don't know. I haven't done it. It's funny, when I was collecting cards, there were so many, it was Jaeger and Lemieux and Bure and Gretzky and Yzerman and Patrick Raw and Hasek and Brodeur. Now I can't name 5 guys. I just don't watch it. I don't know. It just went away. All the good players left, and Crosby's in there, and then a couple of Russians, but it's just not the same. I got so many cards. It's like I don't, unless it's like a Burrow or Mahomes. I got one Mahomes card. It's a 50 count, So I'm sure I'll do well with that. It looked like a 10. It was just, I bought it at a store where they sell helmets because I wanted a New Orleans helmet. So I got the helmet, and I see cards in the case, and there's a Mahomes 50 count, and I look at it, it's mint condition, and he wants $50 for it, and I'm laughing, going, at the time, this is a $5,000 card easy. Now it's probably 10 or something like that. So that's what you want. So I'd say, Nick, bet your hoops. Stay away from baseball. That's really tough. If you do bet it, you bet the pitchers. If the 2 strong pitchers are pitching, you go under. If the 5 pitchers are going, you bet over. And if a 1 plays a 5, you bet the 1. That's about all I can say about baseball. It's all the pitcher dominates, the pitcher controls. And that's really the only sport like that. Hockey, you can get a hot goalie, good defensive team, but hockey's just very difficult. Plus, I don't even understand it anymore. Is there a money line, or it used to just be even? It used to just be money lines. Now I think you can lay a goal and a half or get 2 goals. I haven't studied it enough to really make that thought. Excuse me. Anyway, so what else can we talk about? Stock market's going to crash, so get your money out of stocks. It keeps going down, 4,500, and just be careful there. Get it out. Get Bitcoiners, get your money out. Take your profit. Where's Bitcoin going? It's not going anywhere. There's nothing driving the price. There's no action to create the reaction. It is not a hedge against the dollar collapsing. It is not gold that has gold as gold. So it's really, there's nothing that makes Bitcoin go up except for people thinking, well, I want to be out of the government. I want to be out of the that type of environment, which I understand, but I'm out with gold and silver, not with Bitcoin. So just be careful with that. People that have made money, I say, sell it, take your profit. You can't lose. If you give me $50,000, I'm happy as shit. and then I'll buy gold with it, and I can't lose. It's a lock. It's a no-brainer. I can't lose with gold. It's cannot, with all this heavy inflation and the money supply being turned to shit. It can only go to 10,000. It can't do anything else. It's just manipulated. But once you understand that and wait for the manipulation to end, you're gold. It's just going to go. It's going to run, and you can't lose. Plus, you own gold. What's better than that? Mickey Mantle cards, I guess, is close. So what else can we talk about? I don't know. I think that's about it. If you got any other topics, let me know. Excuse me. I'm tired on Mondays. I hate that the Super Bowl is on so late because you're tired. You don't want to be up till 11 o'clock watching a Super Bowl. You want to watch it during the day and then chill at night and then get ready and for Monday. But anyway, so enjoy your trip, Nick, when you go. Enjoy your 10-ounce bar. I assume that's silver. I want to buy some silver this weekend. Try to buy some gold too, if I get the opportunity. That's about it. So watch the football, watch all the moves, rank the coaches. Most of them suck. So when they get a new coach, they suck anyway. I think Houston got a Lovie Smith. You're like, Lovie Smith, this is your coach. And so give him 2 years and you're going to fire him. It's just pathetic what they do. They don't know what they're doing. Anyway, that's what's going on. Watch your gold and silver. Silver's still real world cheap. Gold's starting to move, but now when it drops back, that's when you're going to buy it this time. 1780, 1800. The gold stocks really are starting to move a little, but they're really not. For as much as gold's gone this week, the gold stocks have not really done much. My Newmont was 65, went down to 59, and now it's back to 63. And gold's gone like $60, and it hasn't really moved. And that's because people need money. They're selling their stocks, including their gold stocks. So wait till it drops, and then I'll let you know when to buy it. Right now, it's just a trap. You're really not going to do a lot. So be careful with the gold stocks, but be careful with regular stocks. The people are going to start selling, and once they hit margin, once the margin calls come, goodbye. It's going to be huge drop. So get out of the market. You're not going to lose. You can't lose. It's like going to the casino and not playing poker. You didn't lose, so you can't I didn't win. You didn't lose. You got a bunch of sharks there from Europe. You're not going to win. Don't play. And that's what you have with the stock market. You got a bunch of it's going to fall. Get out and watch. Save yourself. And then when the shit hits the fan and it's dropped, then go and then buy. But if you're thinking of money, just buy gold and silver. That's your safe haven. That's your money. And that's what's going to go up. And then if you want, you buy, in this case, Joe Burrow, but, go buy some Montanas and Mantles and Mazes and Kareems and go buy Magic Johnson and all that stuff. Go buy that, and then at least you have some fun and keep it protected, and you'll make money that way. Why do you need to make money in the stock market? I was reading an article today going, well, there's nowhere else to put it but the stock market. That's bullshit. What do you mean there's nowhere else to put it? The stock market's dropping because all the shit in China with the housing and then all the stuff in Russia. You're not making money in the stock market. The only place to put it's gold and silver or a Mantle card. Okay, so I'll give you an option. If you want to buy gold and silver, buy the Mantle cards. But gold and silver is your option. You should get out of the market and buy gold and silver. You can't be in bonds because the interest rate's not even 2%, and the inflation rate is at least 10. So you're losing 8%. And who the hell does that? Well, I'm going to give you $1,000 and you give me back. You take 80 of it, give me back, 720. What kind of idiot does that? You don't buy bonds. Bonds are not safe. The interest rate, it's an IOU, and the interest rate's terrible. You don't want to be in interest rates when there's heavy inflation. The only thing to be in. So they're printing the money. It's devalued. What do you want to be in? Assets, because they're going to hold the value. That's what you're trying to do, is hold the value. Hence the gold and silver. Hence the baseball cards. Things that are real assets, that's real money, that's going to hold the value. Believe me, when all this shit hits the fan, the Mantle card is going to be worth more. The Rice card, the Montana card, Lawrence Taylor, the Walter Paytons, they're all going to go up in value because the money is going to be worthless. And then they're going to come out with new money, hopefully backed by, if it's backed by gold, gold's 20,000 because they just don't have enough of it. I think it's like 200,000 tons of gold is all there is in the world. And that's not a lot, but it's funny. Then you look at the central banks and like, you think Russia's been buying and they got like 3,000 tons of it. But when you look at 220,000, but again, I'm only looking at central banks. So like all my gold's not anywhere. No, it's not being counted. So that's where it's hard, is you don't really know how much gold is left, and it ain't a lot, and the price will start going up. And you get lucky to find gold and silver. This is why I've been saying, buy it, because it's not going to be there to buy, and the price is not going to be. You can see the price jumped from 18 to 1870. What do you think happens when they're not price fixing it and the thing starts to run? 1870 turns into 2570, turns into 3570, and now you can't afford to buy it. That's my point. Silver is going to do that, but it's only at $23. Silver is the biggest joke in the world. That's like getting a Jerry Rice rookie card that's $125 for $5,000 because they're price fixing it. So with silver, you're getting at least I'd say $300 an ounce product for $20. I mean, how can you go wrong there? And it's silver and it's money. Plus, it's used in a lot of stuff. But gold, you just gotta, you gotta buy as much as you can. Here's where me and Nick can kind of separate, is he wants to buy a Burrow helmet or this Burrow card, and I'm saying no, keep buying an ounce of gold. Buy a half an ounce of gold. Buy a quarter ounce of gold. You're better off in gold now than a Burrow rookie. And your gold's going to be buying you 100 Burrow rookies if you want an ounce of gold. Probably not even that, because the half ounce of gold is worth about 1,100 right now. So once the shit hits the fan, you only need a 10th ounce of a gold to buy the Burrow rookie. So that's why I'm saying you don't need to always buy ounces. I highly recommend buying the tenths or the quarters and buy Cougar ants because it's cheaper and you don't care. You're buying the ounce of gold. You don't care it's an eagle or a maple leaf or a Cougar ant. You don't care. All you care about is getting an ounce of gold, and that's it. And the more you can get, the better you're going to be. The way you'll be able to survive, help your friends. I give a little bit to my friend, or somebody does something. Here you go. And I usually give them a little quarter ounce or something. Not too bad, but the quarter ounce is $500. So my gals get a quarter, get a quarter. Real special will get a half ounce. The ounces I keep. My one friend Irina in Romania, she'd get an ounce when I meet her. But she's very, very special to me. Outside of that, just that's what you need to aim at and focus and understand. The dollar's going to zero, just like the Nazis in the 1930s when the mark went to zero and they wheelbarrow and they wallpapered their kitchens with it, and other currencies, Venezuela, where they start printing $10,000, whatever it was, and eventually it goes to zero. When you start seeing a $500 bill or $1,000 US dollar, the game's over. Once you see $1,000, like right now you see 100, you very rarely see a 500. Once you start seeing 500 and thousands, run. Don't walk. Run to the gold store. It's all over. And they'll start doing it. So anyway, I think that's it. So again, watch the draft. Watch, the key to football is the injuries, the draft. Key to three, and all of a sudden it's gone. That's why go get Peyton cards. Go get, Bradshaw. Well, I don't like Bradshaw, but get Swan, Stallworth, and Montana and Rice. He's okay. I'm not a big Elway fan. Marino, I like Marino, but he never won. So how do you get him? I got his rookie card. I think I paid $40 for it. I think it's like $5,000. This is the problem. If he would have won 3 Super Bowls like Montana, that card would be worth $50,000. But he didn't win anything, so his card's worth $5,000, maybe $10,000. I think for a PSA 10 Marino, which is extremely hard to get. They were off center just like that. But what's funny is the '84 Montana has good value, and the '86 Montana. Rice's rookie card, it's got value. The Marcus Allen rookies, 83, it was a double print, but it was very easy to find them in really good shape. I think I just have one, but man, that's worth like $20,000 now. So just keep that in mind. So again, go after the superstars in collecting, go after the gold. So always go after the big things. Go after what is demanded. That's the theory of this show, is supply and demand. What action and reaction. Printing the money, I buy gold. Winning a Super Bowl, I buy Brady. Getting injured, I don't. I stay away from those players. So really, that's what you're trying to do here. Unfortunately, didn't win. I was hoping he'd at least take him to overtime. That would have been prudent. I was shocked that the game didn't go to overtime after he made that one nice pass to midfield. Even though it was 3rd and 1, I thought, that they'll pick it up. The Rams are more interested in rushing the pass. So I was surprised their running play didn't work on 3rd and 1, because why would they be looking for it? And I thought that he should have audibleized it and hit Chase or Uzama on a crossing pattern or a little dump screen. They weren't hitting the backs out of the backfield. I felt that they should have. You want Von Miller, you want to come in, I'm going to throw it where you were. And, they just weren't getting rid of the ball fast enough. They're not at that stage yet, but Burrow will get there. He can't read the ball to get it out. He doesn't know where to throw the ball before, like Brady does. Once he gets to that level, look out. And Mahomes, I guess, is getting there also. So those are your 2 quarterbacks that when we need a lock, we go, who's Cincinnati playing? Who's Kansas City playing? And there's your lock. But Josh Allen is not at that level. And that's my point. You can chase Josh Allen cards, but I wouldn't. I would chase Mahomes and now Burrow before I chase Josh Allen. Buffalo, I don't see winning with Josh Allen. He wants to run too much. He's going to lose his knee. That's what's going to happen. He runs way too violently, way too much. He's just going to get killed. You want Burrow. Look what Burrow does. Burrow stays in the pocket and does it. And same thing with Mahomes. These are more pocket. They can run a little bit. I think, did you win your little bet there, Nick, on 10 yards with Burrow? I don't think. I saw him run once for 5 yards. I don't recall if he ran too many times. But that's where they get you with these prop bets. You got to ignore them because you don't study them. Let's go to Money Heist. What did he do? He had class for months before they did the bank where they printed the money. And then he did class again for the gold. Here's what we're going to do. Here's, in case this happens, scenario B, scenario C, scenario D. If somebody gets captured, somebody gets shot. They had it all covered. And that's my point. That's what you've got to do with football. You got to get the scenarios down. I just lost my train of thought. But I mean, that's what you've got to have the scenario. You got to have the class, and that's what but that's what Josh Allen doesn't do. He's not. He's got to go up to the line and know what he's going to do, and he can't be running power sweeps around the end. It's not going to happen. So yeah, could they beat KC? Yeah, but they didn't, and he did good at the end. But KC didn't play defense. That's why I like Cincinnati against KC, because I knew they don't have the defense. So you always look for the strong defense to get the W. I can't say the best defense won yesterday. I think it was an even game. That's why we teased the dog, and that's why we won. It was an easy winner, teasing the dog. Never in doubt with Cincinnati. They had the lead most of the game, and then getting the and they had a good enough defense to get the over. Was in doubt a little bit, but it shouldn't have been. They should have scored more. But anyway, so that's what's happening. I'll come on. No, we don't have football, but we can talk about all this other stuff. So we can keep the conversation going. So I'll try to do a couple days a week, Saturday morning, one night, and just talk about what's going on with the gold, with the baseball cards, with anything else that comes up. Definitely want to warn you about gold and get out of the Bitcoin, get out of the stocks. Careful if you got a house, interest rate. They won't raise interest rates. So everybody's talking about raising it. They can't because of the debt. They can't raise interest rates. So when they say it, they're not going to do it. Don't buy it. That's going to create more inflation. Run and buy gold and silver because they can't raise interest rates. Just means we're all screwed because they're going to keep printing the money, which means it's going to go to nothing, which means you better have gold and silver. And I mean a lot. I don't know. I might sell my stock money. Right now, my money's out of stocks, just sitting there. I might take some of it to buy more gold because I think it's more prudent to buy more gold coins than it is to wait for the gold stocks to come. Like, how much am I going to make on my gold stocks versus how much am I going to make buying gold? So I think I got to sell some of it and do that, but I got to do it pretty quickly while gold's still sitting there at 1,800 for me. So I don't mind spending 1,900 an ounce. But I don't want to start spending $3,000 or $4,000 an ounce. You got to get all your buying in now before the shit hits the fan. Because once you see gold at 5,000 an ounce, it's going to go to 10 because everybody's scared. They've been keeping it 1,800, so nobody's scared. Well, it doesn't really go. Even Nick, well, it doesn't move. But once gold moves, then everybody's going to freak out. When it hits 3,000, you're going to have panic. Get your money out of the bank. Do not leave a lot of money in the bank. A couple $1,000s for your bills. Get your paycheck. You pay your rent. You pay your groceries, your utilities, and that's it. The rest, put in your safe. Don't even put it in the bank. My money, any extra I put in my safe. When the safe hits with enough money, I go buy gold and silver with it. I think it's okay to have money, to have some cash. I think you'll be okay with it, but the value of the cash is not going to be a lot. So let's say you have $1,000. It's going to buy you maybe $600 worth of goods, not the 1,000 that you're planning on. That's why you got to get it in the gold. The gold will go up, and it'll buy you 10,000 worth of goods, where the money's going to buy you 1,000. If you have, let's say 2,000, because that's what an ounce is. So if you have 2,000, you have an ounce of gold worth 2,000. It's gonna be worth 5, right? But if you have $2,000 in US dollars, it's gonna be worth 1,000. That's the difference. So with the 2,000, you could have gold. It's got to go up, and the dollar has to go down. My opinion, like I'm an idiot. This is my background. This is what I got a master's in, so I know what's happening. It's a tops card. You're printing and losing the value. And always you'd rather have $2,000 in gold than $2,000 in cash. It's like an old car. The car's going to zero and the gold's going to the moon. So just think of it like that. Get out of your stocks. Get out of your Bitcoin. No, I got nothing. I don't gain. I just help you. So that's just like I just gave you the Super Bowl winner. Take the dog and go over, and we won. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I get paid for that, but if you buy the thing, but otherwise, like this, I don't get paid for telling you to buy gold and getting out of stocks and saving you money. That's just my joy of helping. So anyway, that's what's going on. Off to the club to swim, and again, www.teaserking.com. Please feel free to go to the site. You can email me. Nick emails me a lot. Any of the questions anything we discussed, the gold, the stocks, stock market, Bitcoin, gold, baseball cards. I'm not going to be a big help, and I'm not really studying basketball, so I can't be a big help except for what I told you. And if you go to Vegas, just play poker. I can help you with that. So if you want, I can do a poker show, throw in some gold, throw in some baseball cards. That seems to be I'm really into that, and I think most people enjoy that. All right, everybody, have a great night. www.teaserking.com. Please send an email, and off we go. Have a great day. I'll probably be back. I'll probably start doing shows on like Wednesday night and then Saturday or Sunday morning. I think that's good. I apologize. I wanted to come on earlier yesterday and talk about the Super Bowl, and I didn't come on until the afternoon, a couple hours before the game, but we'd already talked Friday night. Everybody knew it was Cincinnati in the over. So anyway, have a great night. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the conversation, and we'll go from there. Okay. Have a great night, everybody.